This week, the sailors of the PWA head through Europe to Holland for the second leg of the freestyle tour. With competition moving into the waves, the championship crown is up for grabs as the airtime sailors get their chance to move up through the ranks.
Checking out the Dutch style into the cold water. Live life in Holland. That's the action. Do some port tack sailing.
Coming up, we catch up with the action from the Zanvoort Freestyle Grand Prix. We trip the light fantastic with the dancing Dane, Lars Peterson, and wage war with Holland's finest. Carrying maximum championship points and a $50,000 prize purse, everyone turned out in Zanvoort, including reigning champion Josh Stone, who will be desperate for a win after a humbling second in Austria. The shock winner at that event was newcomer Webb Pedrick, who stunned the crowds with a snappy Spock 540 that kicked off his meteoric rise to stardom.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't kill myself, whatever happens. Like, I don't put too much pressure on myself because then you don't sail well. I just try to have as much fun as possible, and that's all I can do here, too.
The Dutch contingent here was headed up by world number 7, Peter Volwater, with a new generation of local rookies, including Eric Truthside and a PWA version, Remco de Weerd, who was hot off the plane from Margarita.
Been there for 5 months, and in the beginning I couldn't even do a proper jive, and in the end I could do wheelie skippers, sparks, and all those things.
With the world's top 30 turning out, anything can happen.
Oh man, you know, you got Webb and Josh, there's Baker, Goya, a lot of guys that are good on this port tack stuff, so we'll wait and see.
It's gonna be a real toss-up. I think this event's gonna be a real challenge. But I'm definitely here to win. I'm not here to get second again.
Registration day and a freak 65-mile-an-hour wind devastated the beach.
Josh went out yesterday and embarrassed the whole entire world tour.
Everybody's all, yeah, he's going out. I'm all, splat, splat, splat all over the place.
We're a little bit disappointed the party tank's gone as well.
Yesterday I just got in off the plane, and then I came down to 50 knots on shore, and I figured, I'll just wait till tomorrow to go out. So here's tomorrow, and here I am. I'm getting organized.
The first day of competition saw the calm after the storm. As the wind began to pick up, Stone had time to reflect on his Austrian defeat.
Webb and some of the other guys like Richie Foster and Antoine Aubeau, they were all pulling Spock 540s. I didn't even try one yet. So you can imagine the first thing I did when I got home was went and learned the Spock 540.
I'm gonna be Spockmeister, Spock McTwist. Watch this.
The first round had kicked off with a modest breeze and sizable ramps. Maneuvers will be scored both in the air and on the water. In Heat 3, Latin groover Francisco Goya sailed a strong wave heat but neglected to freestyle and bombed out. Others were soon to follow. But all the top seeds, including America's Webb Pedrick, Matt Pritchard, and Josh Stone advanced. The first round revelation was Dutch rookie Remco de Weerd, who impressed with a natural balance and flair, unprecedented after only 5 months training.
Go to the max, try new things, and I don't mind at all trying new things. So get smashed in the water, that's okay, why not?
It was to be Holland's day, as Eric Truthside also found his way to the last 16.
I made it, I'm really stoked, you know. All my friends are on the beach and everybody's like super happy for me, it's really good.
The wind had picked up to 20 knots and everything was set for the final rounds.
This is a killer. Cannot get any better, I think, for freestyle conditions.
All the title contenders had made the grade, and now it was down to Stone to make his mark.
Getting a first round under your belt is really cool because then you can really go for it.
The last 16 was to be dominated by a host of new faces. Most notable of those, Webb Pedrick, leading the championship following his first PWA event.
The sun's up, but it's still cool. The water's cool, man.
Shows your hands.
Cheers, man.
Fighting the cold, the sailors set up for the first of the quarterfinals. Heat 25 saw Perez, Boldoirs, and Biskovic take on the Wonder Boy, Pedrick. Now was his chance to prove he has the caliber to take on the championship. Sailing on port tack for the first time, Pedrick busted big, but fell apart as he dropped move after move. Also suffering was the stocky Spaniard Marcos Perez, who seemed to be losing his grip in front of the chicks. It looked an easy round for Boldoirs and Biskovic. But in a final fling, Perez popped a sweet spot to banish the Dane and take his place in the semis.
Very good, very good.
But what in God's name happened to Pedrick?
I put my board in the water, and immediately the wave came, like, shut me back out of that. My mind was in a bad state of mind, and
With the tide sucking up over the sandbar, conditions looked fluky for Heat 26.
It's here.
Now we make dawn training with one of the PWA's unsung heroes, Lars Peterson. He's hovered just off the podium for years, but reached legendary status amongst the sailors for his balance and fluidity on the water.
I sailed a lot on longboards when I was younger, doing longboard freestyle. I have a solid base in flipping the sail around. It comes very natural to me, doing it down a wave, do a duck tack, and connecting with another maneuver, and just keep spinning around. I'm much more a technical sailor rather than a powerhouse to just hold on and do things by sheer power. When I tried it the first time, it's the greatest thing I've ever tried. And I tried football, tennis, all kinds of other sports. In windsurfing, you're in control of what's going to happen. I like to be doing stuff on my own. I don't like to be dependent on a team. It's very cold in Denmark. Some years you can't sail at all. There'll simply be ice and snow all over the place. I tried once in a photo shoot to be sailing in -5 degrees. It was one of the most dangerous things that I've ever done. Definitely not going to do that again. My Viking blood is helping me holding up the flag sometimes and find the fighting spirit. And maybe it's something in the genes that motivates you to go out there and do it. It's a fantastic feeling when you pull off a move for the first time. It's just like, woo, you're flying over the ground and nothing can knock you off course. You know, you're just a happy person when that happens.
Heat 27 saw Volwater and Baker as favorites, but with newcomer De Weerd thrown in, anything could happen.
There's a big name against Remco De Weerd, and who is he? Nobody knows, so I need to show something big to get to the next round.
Remco was chucking back loops in front of the judges, pulling out a host of moves, including the coveted air Spock. But sloppy landings cost him dearly as he went out. Local Peter Volwater started slowly as Jensen and Baker looked on it. In the closing minutes, Volwater took to the air. And the Flying Dutchman followed Britain's Nick Baker into the semis.
It always helps a bit when you do well in the last little bit of the heat. Then it's sort of fresh in the memory of the judges.
With Pedrick out of the running, Stone would have to make this one count. As they hit the water, the champ showed his versatility, tricking as hard coming in as going out. When Ironman Talma bailed on the occasion, the final slot came down between Schweiger and Jensen. The Austrian had him on the flats, but Jensen dusted him in the air with this sweet forward. And joined a firing Stone in the next round.
Right now I got some moves that the other guys aren't pulling, and that's the main key, is to stay one step ahead of the game.
Going out, I think I just got a gust and then fell, and then the water was and the current was going down, and so I got back up, I went out, and I think I made a move. I think I made like a push tack or something, and then I came in and tried another spock and fell. And at that point, I was in front of a wave again, so I was just getting worked. And then I went back out, and I tried I tried a duck tack, and my sail just burrowed, smashed down straight underwater. So I'm trying to water start for a good 45 seconds, and the sail wouldn't clear. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is not going well. And I mean, if I was freestyling, I would have been a little embarrassed, but I mean, there's people watching, and it was really bad. Checks to see the moves that people had done, like how many, and they had 2 under my name for, I guess, the Vulcan and the push tack. So definitely not my best heat. Probably some of the worst sailing I've ever done.
Of the semis, the second will be the one to watch, with Stone, Volwater, Jensen, and Baker equally capable of taking the event win. Heat 29 was to be a clash of styles, as the flowing dance routines of Matt Pritchard and Lars Peterson went up against the power moves of Boudoirs and Perez.
I'm on my 5.3 and my max 58, just back and forth, full planing, tricky-dicky and all around, and it's
Eventually, Pritchard elevated himself above the rest with a slick back loop that put him through.
That was a tough one for me. I got a 20-second little gift that came down and shot straight up into a back loop and made it. So I think that pretty much got me through. I was in need of some action and I got it. So.
And Boudoir joined him in the final.
Matt Pritchard and I don't know yet the other guys. But it's okay, I'm not so nervous for once.
Heat 30 was a clash of the top seeds, with Baker, Jensen, and Volwater putting pressure on the champion.
I heard the wind's going to pick up a bit, so it'd be nice to be on the 5-0 as well and get some more airtime.
Britain's Nick Baker was the first to falter, as he looked like a novice on the waves and never really got it together.
So in the end there, I tried to do sort of an air spot, try something a bit radical. Maybe I thought if I pulled it off, it might pull me through, but that didn't really happen. So yeah, I was out, sadly enough.
Meanwhile, Volwater was stealing the show as he took the competition to the skies. Jensen tried his best to phase the champion, but Stone wasn't dropping a move. Though both sailors advanced, it was Volwater that took the heat win, as he found a chink in the Hawaiian's armor.
Everything went super smooth, and just everything just went bang, 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 and no mistakes.
The final showdown would be a fairy tale, as the local boy took on the freestyle giant. Now we take to the battlefield with ex-Rookie of the Year and Holland's brightest hope, Peter Volwater. With Stone and Volwater fired up for the win, the game was on.
Wind is so good that you can do so much stuff in 5 minutes. You can pretty much do every trick you know.
Desperate for the big power move, Boldoir tried the one-handed spot, tripped a rail, and washed up in fourth. Pritchard had the style but lacked the spot, and without the flavor of the month, found himself again in third. It was hard to split the final two, as they brought out everything they had. Though in true championship winning style, Stone saved the best till last, landing a Spock 540 in the final minute. And it was the move that lost him Austria that put him back in the lead here.
Explode energy is just boom. I like to just be with people and stuff, but at the end of the day, when you have to go 9 rounds and win every single one or you're out, and it's painful, man. So at least I feel happy about today that this is the most heats I've ever done in a day, and they all went smooth for one.
Stone had proved himself a worthy champion as he regained a strong lead from Pritchard, who took second, with Pedrick off the podium and down in fifth.